Hunter Biden's fate is now in the hands of a jury. On the second day of deliberations in his federal gun trial begins in just hours. Jurors deliberated for about an hour before heading home for the night. The defense resting its case without the president's son taking the stand. And our NewsNation's Joe Khalil is outside the Delaware courthouse. Joe, jurors could not come to a quick decision. Can you read the tea leaves for us a little bit? What's going to happen today?
You know, I will say this, it's always hard to read a jury, but if there was a decision that came down relatively quickly, meaning today or in a few hours, I don't know that that would be shocking to anyone who's been following this trial, simply because the case itself is pretty straightforward, right? We've got this sheet, this gun permit. It does say pretty clearly, if you are an illegal user of drugs. So it's not like the law around the case is complicated, and it's not like this is a layered situation here. So no matter what way the jury will go, that's going to be harder to surmise. But at this point, it is not a case that, it has taken weeks and weeks to present evidence. It's pretty straightforward, whether you have a law degree or not, easy and simple, at least, to understand here.
Yeah, but it's definitely not what we're used to seeing. We have Secret Service outside the courthouse every day walking them in.
Yeah.
The judge the judge in this case, rather, is telling the jurors to ignore Hunter Biden supporters there that are in the gallery, saying this is not evidence here. The crowd includes the First Lady, other Biden family members, too. So do you think the jurors are really going to be able to ignore that kind of support from such powerful figures there?
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, basically, the prosecutors in this case said, hey, ignore the elephant in the room. You've got the First Lady of the United States sitting right there. And obviously, that's a hard thing to do. Now, whether her presence and the rest of the Biden family is going to make any meaningful impact on the jury's decision, I don't know. But, it's very clear that Jill Biden enjoys a lot of popularity here in Delaware, in this state, especially in Wilmington, where the Biden family has a lot of ties. Even, the police officers that let us in every single day into the courthouse, you chat with them. Many of them have known the Biden family for decades. They have incredibly strong ties, the Biden family does, in this community. So there were some jurors that were actually let off of the jury because they personally knew Jill Biden. So, the fact that she's sitting there, I think any prosecutor, any defense attorney will tell you that having family in the courtroom is never a bad thing for a defendant. It sort of humanizes them. And when you have someone as popular and as well known as the First Lady, as the First Family, and then you have people like Hunter's daughter testifying, right? Someone who is a sympathetic figure. I mean, certainly, I can't imagine that would hurt. But, whether the jury's going to make a decision based on that, that's another matter.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. Also, don't forget to click that red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.